Hello, Snack Shack. Snack Shack. Hello, Snack Pack. Welcome back to Travel Snacks. Today's episode and live stream is from the beautiful and warm Palm Desert, California. Now, this live stream usually goes on at 2 p.m. Pacific time, but I went to go give blood today and I had an appointment and they were like 2 hours behind, which is good news because there seems to be a lot of people giving blood right now, which is definitely needed, especially during the pandemic and people getting sick, and just in general, it's good to give blood. But I guess people are kind of bored at home and they're like, well, what can I do? Well, I can go give blood. So that's what the nurse there was saying, is that a lot of people are coming in to give blood right now because what else they got to do? You know what I'm saying? And especially on a Saturday. So, um, another thing is the reason why they were so backed up is because, come to find out, there was a lady who tested positive for COVID-19. She got it, she had it, she recovered from it, and so she went to the blood bank of plasma, and all the news crews were there, and all of like it was like a big deal. And so as soon as she gave that plasma, they were going to rush it over to the hospital and start doing whatever kind of testing to look for the antibodies and all the stuff that they need to do to, I guess, make vaccines or whatever. So it was like a big local news story. So I guess what happened is the news people came in to the area that people give blood for, and they had like three big cameras there, and they couldn't have just like regular people giving blood with all those people in there. So I guess that kind of halted people from going in for their regular appointments, which I knew nothing about. And even when I got there, I didn't know anything about it. I only knew once I got in to give blood, and then the nurse was like, "This is what happened. This is why we had such a long wait." So, anyways, I think it's a good thing. I wasn't upset about it. I was just only a little bit like, "Oh, that sucks because of my live stream," but it's okay. We're just doing a little later tonight, and whoever jumps on, jumps on. And I gave blood, so I feel good about it. There was a steady stream of people giving blood. So I think if you're healthy enough to give blood, you should definitely give blood because it's highly needed. Not only now, but at all times. Let's see. So this live stream is coming to you from the beautiful, like I said, the beautiful Palm Desert, California. I'm currently at the Civic Center Park. Now the on the Google page, it said that the park was closed, but under the details it said that just like the baseball fields are closed and um, like the sports areas are closed. I see a good amount of people out here walking around. Most of them have masks. Some people are taking a nap on the grass, and there's a lot of people walking their dogs out here. So I'm going to get out in a few minutes and just take a quick walk around the park. There's a beautiful lake and a lot of trees. Hey Duncan, how's it going? The Capitals will be full of people soon. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of protesting going on. If you're joining the live stream, let me know where you're coming from, where you're watching from. There's a lot of protesting going on. There's a lot going on actually, because all the states obviously are different and they have different infection rates and just different needs. So some people are, going to get off the lockdown sooner than others. So it just is what it is. But there are a lot of people just still out and about, just like normal. So, as I mentioned, there's a lot of people that are giving blood. There's still like blood mobiles going in different areas, and then if you live near an actual blood bank, you can give blood there as well. And it's very sterile. Like I saw them cleaning pretty much everything as they went, and other people were like bringing in things that they had just cleaned. The only thing that was kind of a bummer is there was only one nurse working. They were short staffed. That was another thing, is they were already behind, but then they were short staffed. So there was one nurse tending to three people, me, another person, and then a person giving, I think, whole blood, what is it, not whole blood, apheresis or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot going on. So I felt kind of bad because she was the only one in there just like bopping around, and she was sweating. She had her mask on. It was crazy. So that's that in terms of giving blood. Um, how was everybody's Easter? My Easter was great. The only thing is that I really missed my boys. We always spend Easter together, and this year, of course, they were in their apartments in LA, and I was in the desert with my parents. So we still had a really beautiful Easter. Me and my mom went to car church at the local church nearby, which I think is really great. We went to the sunrise service, even though it was super early in the morning. That's a tradition I really enjoy. So I went there with my mom, and it's really cool because at the car church, you stay in your car. You can crack your window a little bit, but you stay in your car, and the pastor is up on this like pedestal thing with like the worship team, but they're all kind of spread out, and he has a like a PA system, and it's really cool. Um, Not at the sunrise service because that's super early, but at all the like other services that he does, like I think 8 and then 10. Every time he's like, "Can I get an amen?" the people just honk their horns, and it's really fun. Um, I bet the neighbors are probably pissed, and that's probably why he's like, "Hey, for this particular sunrise service, let's not honk our horns. Let's just use our flashers," which I thought was really cool. So that was a fun Easter thing to do. And we were up so early that the day was just, it seemed very long, which is fine, but it's kind of a bummer when you're not with your family and the day is kind of like, okay, so now what? But my mom still made like a full Easter dinner, which I appreciate. My mom and dad, put effort into making a ham, potato, like homemade potato salad, not just like store bought, but homemade potato salad, rolls, cooked carrots. It was like a real treat. So it was a really beautiful Easter. And then there was a little surprise. So, we're just kind of going throughout our day, and then we hear the knock at the door. And there was a lady standing way back from our door, but like with a mask. And we're like, who's this? Who's coming to our door on Easter? So we open the door, and she's like, hi, I'm your new neighbor, which we haven't met yet. And she's like, I know you don't know me, but my name is this, and we're cooking, and I'm baking, and I baked cinnamon rolls. And she's like, we made way too many. Do you guys want some? The answer is always yes for cinnamon rolls. I don't know who says no to cinnamon rolls, but if somebody comes to your door, my mouth is watering thinking about the cinnamon rolls. If somebody comes to your door and they're like, we made too many cinnamon rolls, do you want some? I think the answer is always yes. I don't care. Like yeah. So she was so sweet, and she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go package them up and put them on a plate for you guys and bring them back. And those were like the best cinnamon rolls. Oh my gosh, it almost tasted like it was banana bread with either walnuts or pecans, and then made into cinnamon rolls. It was so good. It's like, you ever just think like, man, I just wish somebody would come to my front door with food. And then that's what happened. It was like a food fantasy, and it was just great. And since then, she's just like been so sweet. She even like the next day, our new neighbor, sends us a text, and she's like, hey, I just made this sourdough starter so that you can make sourdough bread. Do you guys want some? And we're like, yeah. And so she comes over with this jar of starter, and like a book that explains how to make homemade sourdough bread, which sourdough is delicious. So the cool thing about that is like it's kind of a project. So you have to feed the starter pretty much every day with like a teaspoon or tablespoon of flour, and then like a little bit of sugar. So it just like keeps growing, and then you can make sourdough bread. So I thought that was really awesome as well. Also, if you're just joining the live stream, let me know where you're watching from. So that's been a really great experience, having a neighbor that's like so friendly and so nice to just like introduce herself and bring over treats. Hello, Iron Fist. Yeah. So that's what happened on my Easter. So did you guys have a good Easter? I hope so. Let me know. Let's see what else. Um, well, speaking in terms of uh, sweets and treats and stuff like that. So basically, I've been usually I come on the live streams and I talk about what I'm snacking on, and I've been really, really cutting back drastically on my sugary and salty snacks because I really am trying to take my fitness more seriously. Can you tell me more about the nomadic lifestyle? Yes, yes, I will in just one second. So basically, this week my snacks have been like healthy snacks. So today I had an apple. After I gave blood, I did have like they have a basket of like treats that you could have. So usually I get cookies, but today I'm like, okay, let's make healthy choices, healthier choices. And so I looked at the front of each of the like things that they had packaged, and the least calorie thing they had was little pretzels. So I got that, and I only ate like half the little tiny bag. Um, and then the other thing I don't even think it's considered a snack, but I've been preparing little baggies of um, smoothie ingredients like peaches, bananas, and spinach. And if you ever want to try a smoothie with spinach, you can't taste it. Once you blend it up, you can't. So it just adds some vitamins in there, and it's or whatever's nutritional value, and it's just really good. So Iron Fist. I think that's who just asked this question. What particularly do you want to know about the nomadic lifestyle? What specific questions do you have? Just in a big, broad, general thing, the nomadic lifestyle is one where you basically don't have like one place. Okay, so the nomadic lifestyle is basically like you don't have like one place. For example, you don't have an apartment or a house. Some people do. I'm just making generalizations here, but you generally don't have a house or an apartment. You just live on the road. Um, and you kind of just go from place to place. Or sometimes a nomadic lifestyle could be one where you don't stay in one place, but you do stay in like an Airbnb or hotel, or stay in, you know, different towns with family or friends. It really just depends. I don't have a dictionary to like tell you specifically about what nomadic means, but that's what it means to me, is that you kind of just don't stay in one spot. So you just basically kind of travel around the wherever you live, like US or even around the world. So what made me want to live the nomadic lifestyle? So um, basically, I kind of worked my way up to having like the dream uh, place that I had near the beach, and it was like one of the best things and also one of the most depressing times for whatever reason. I had like a beautiful place in Carlsbad, California, and I was 10 minutes from the beach. I went there often, and I felt stuck. I didn't like my job. It's not that I didn't like my job, but there was just like a lot of strife in my job, and I just kind of felt just stagnant. And I have some videos on this if you want to go back and watch some of the older ones. But basically, our lease was up. It was a condo, and so our lease was up, me and my two sons, and I had a choice to make. I could either just go get another apartment, or I could start traveling, which is something I've always wanted to do. So I decided to move it back in with my parents, move all my stuff there, and just start traveling. So um, I first went to Europe for 3 months, and I just stayed in Airbnbs. And I was still working at that time too. I had a remote job so I could work on my computer. And uh, after that trip, I came back and I was like, I love traveling. This is what I want to do. And then a few months later, I went to South America for a couple months. And then I did some traveling in the US, and then I realized I want to do this full time. So I ended up quitting my job of over 10 years and just started doing YouTube and just really working towards making YouTube a full-time situation, which is what I'm doing now. So hopefully that answers that question. Um, but I mean, in terms of why I wanted to do it, I don't know, something in me just felt
pulled to want to get out and just like explore. One of my kind of acronyms that I go by in is GOAL, GOAL, get out and live. And so I always encourage people to get out and live. Like, don't just stay stuck in your house watching Netflix and TV and just, you know, we need to get out and uh, get sunlight and get fresh air and get around nature and get around other people. I mean, obviously, right now we can't be around a lot of other people, but you can still get out and take a walk and stuff like that. And I still just love exploring new areas. Um, I totally enjoy it. I totally love traveling. And so, obviously, when I quit my job, I had no income. So, I'm living off of my quickly dwindling savings. And I was like, well, I can't travel internationally anymore on the money that I have. So, what can I do? I own a car, so I can start traveling and living in my car. So, at first, it was an experiment. Last November, I went from California to Vancouver and back, and it was a 3 week trip. And it was really just to try to see if I could live in my car. Yeah, I know. I've thought about a moderator, but my live streams are not that big yet. So for now, I just ignore people that say weird things. Um, so I went to Vancouver, and it was very challenging because it was the first time I ever lived in my car while traveling, and it was for 3 weeks. Um, so once I did that trip, even though it was hard, I was like, okay, I just need to make a few adjustments, and then I can continue to travel, doing like living in my car. So when I came back from that trip, I took like about a month or a little over a month, and I really like thought about my trip to Vancouver and what I needed to do differently. And so I packed a little differently, and I brought the things that I felt that I would actually need. And I started making more YouTube videos and having a lot more fun with it. And as you can see, like if you watch some of the videos going back, you'll see the progression of how things have changed a little bit. And I'm still changing, I'm still growing in terms of how I make videos. And, you know, I always like to get comments because I always want to know what people want to see. My sons are not with me, they're grown. They live in their own apartments in Los Angeles. So they don't go with me. They're on their own. They're like grown-ups. But they both have YouTube channels, and they do that full time. So, and my son, my older son, he has a YouTube channel called Sharpe Sports, and he has a second channel called The Simple Gospel. And then my younger son, he has a YouTube channel called Sharpe, and he's also a musician. He's a rapper and producer. So they're doing well. You should team up as a family. So that's interesting, and that's a fun fact. So before we moved out from each other, we had a channel called Sharpe Show. I was like, man, it's been a while. It was called Sharpe Show. I think we did like, I don't know, at the most 5 or 7 videos, and they were funny, but we quickly realized like we're not always going to live with each other, and we're like we have different lives. So it was like, are we going to really invest a bunch of time and energy into making a family show, because we don't always have opportunity. And with YouTube, you really have to be consistent, and you really have to put a lot of time and effort into it, and you should upload like at least 2 to 3 times a week. And it just wasn't feasible for us to do that because we knew we weren't always going to live with each other. So I had fun with it. I think we had a lot of fun doing them, but it's a bummer we just weren't able to like continue to do that. So what I want to do is, as I answer your questions, I'm going to get out of the car and I'm going to walk around this park and show you the Civic Center Park, because it's really beautiful. And especially if anybody's, you know, watching the replay, then at least you can see a different scenery than maybe you're in right now. But if you are joining the live stream, let me know where you're watching from. So let me get myself together because my window's down. I have to turn my car on because it's electric, and I have to like roll up the windows. Gotta carry my mask because it's required here. I don't know if it's required where you guys are, but it's required. If you leave your house, you have to have your mask. So I got my mask. I'm just gonna put it around my wrist for now. And the park. I haven't had this park in a while. I used to live here in Palm Desert a few years ago, and it was very nice, but I got kind of bored with living in the desert. So I've had a couple moves since then. Also, if it gets too windy, you guys might have a little problems hearing, so just let me know in the chat. And I know people are probably going to be looking, but I don't care. This is Travel Snacks. Did I lock my car? Yeah, I locked my car. Okay. So let me walk up here first, and then I'll turn my camera around so you can see. Yeah, there's several people out today. It's a very beautiful day today. I think it's like in the 70s. That's 70 Fahrenheit. Okay. Ooh, it's so pretty out here. I'm just gonna walk over on the other side of the lake and then kind of walk around so you guys can see. What time is it here? It is probably like 3:45 p.m. All right, so let me turn the camera around. So you have just like a beautiful man-made lake. And over here's, you know, more of the park. There's a little pavilion area that you can sit and relax. Yeah, it's so pretty here. Oh, and I'll walk over here and there's some ducks. And some turtles. So they have, you know, ducks and geese, and then they have these water turtles. But you got to be careful about some of these geese because they will chase you, and that's not fun. But let me go over here and I'll show you guys. Okay, so here's just some regular ducks. And then, oh, I'm not gonna get too close because the turtles are jumping in. Let me go over here. They're like, lady, do not mess up our sunbathing. You see those cutest little turtles? They're on the edge. They're ready to jump in if I get any closer. And then these bigger ducks. Look at this turtle right here coming up. What's up? What's up, bro? He's like chilling. Then you got a bunch of ducks over there. Those turtles are chilling. They're getting all the sun. I'm gonna walk down here, and I'm trying to stay away from people because we're supposed to stay away. Let me go over here, and there's a little bridge. I'll show you. I hear some pigeons. Oh! So there's a little bridge, and then if you go over here, there's another little lake, and there's a really cool statue I'm gonna try to show you without getting too close to these people, but I'm gonna be quiet for a second. It's a cool little fisherman's statue. So it's just very peaceful out here, and there's more turtles. I don't want to make them jump in because they want to have a nice relaxing day. But there, you can see one swimming. Let's see. It's hard to see out here because the glare. Hopefully I'm pointing the camera correctly because I can't even actually really see my screen. Oh. The temperature out here is probably like, I'd say around 72 to 75 Fahrenheit. It's nice. It's a little breezy today. It's a little windy, but still very nice. And then if you go over here, there's like the continuation of this lake, and there's like a tiny, tiny little waterfall. So I'll walk over here and show you. And then here's like the main amphitheater. This is where you would go, like if you were going to perform or talk. And I'll go around the other side in a second. But here's continuation with that little tiny waterfall. It's just so pretty. It's like kind of bluish green. And look at this guy. Look at this guy's mohawk. Hilarious. Look at this. So he is chilling. He has got like a hairstyle. Don't attack me. He's like, I'm not, I'm just walking. Oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing. There's more turtles. And look at these weird, I don't know what kind of birds these are, but I don't know if you could see, but the guy is like kind of, the bird is kind of like crouching down. Yes, very nice. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and show you the amphitheater. It's going great. I'm not sure who just said that because I can't see because my screen has a lot of glare on it. But I think you said, how's it going? It's going wonderful. It's a beautiful day. And I gave blood today and I feel great. And the weather is very nice. But okay, so here's like the amphitheater. So you see how it's kind of like ridged? I don't know if you could see that, but it's kind of ridged so that people can sit here. And then these people are playing golf. And then there's a stage. So people could do, you know, plays, and they have live music here sometimes. Yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah, they've had concerts out here in the park. Typically, you would be able to have birthday parties like in the areas like that. But let's walk over here because there's some other cool statues. Like there's this giant, I'm really craving, I can't see. Oh, great. There's this giant, like I think it's a baseball player, and he's just kind of chilling. Maybe he's not a baseball player, maybe he's just a person relaxing. But let me wait till these people pass by so I don't have to walk too fast. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I just deleted that person. So, okay, so this is a pretty cool statue. Oh, okay, it's just called the Dreamer. So maybe he's not a baseball player. He's just wearing a baseball cap. But it's pretty cool. Giant feet, just chilling. And it's so beautiful, like with the waterfall. And you can walk in between. Okay, and then a little bit further, there's some more statues. Let's see. This area is, you mean the park or like this city? Because it's a decent sized city. It's Palm Desert, if you want to look it up. I don't know how many people live here. But okay, so this is a memorial wall. Let me go this way. The park is pretty big. Like I'll go over here and I'll show you kind of a pan of it. But like it goes pretty far back. You can't see it because of the trees, but I'll go back there in a second. So this is the Desert Holocaust Memorial, which is beautifully done. And you can see that it's just really, you know, very, very nice. They have a bunch of different names, benefactors. So there's the memorial wall. Hello, how's it going to whoever's joining the live stream? And then they have the different statues as like a remembrance, which is very sad, but also like it's to honor people. Okay, next time that person says something, I'll mute that person. All right, I think I did it. And then they show like the different like replications of things in the Holocaust, and then they have different plaques to show, which is super sad and terrible. But I think it's nice to put things honoring when tragic things happen. And then if you look on this thing, it tells you like the different cities and like how many people. So anyway, I'm gonna come out of here because this makes me sad, and that's terrible. But I wanted to show you that is here, because this is like a pretty big park, but also, I mean, Palm Desert's not like the most well-known place ever, so I think it's nice to have that for their community. Okay, so you guys saw the amphitheater, and you saw the lake, and then if you go down here, this is where the like main park is. Hold on a second. Somebody was walking by, so I didn't want to get too close. Okay, so here's like the main park. It's still kind of hard to see with the trees, but you see how far it goes down there. And then if you go down, let's see, I'm just gonna go down there because there's an aquatic center. They have a public pool and they have, it's huge. It's so nice. Are you guys getting out of your houses or are you just staying in most of the time? I have been taking a walk every other day just to get some fresh air and sunshine. I think I'm gonna probably end up doing it every day because it just feels nice. The reason I was doing it every other day is because I'm working out on alternating days. Let me see. Let me get in some shade so I can see what you said. I'm stuck in like a caged animal. Where am I? I am in Palm Desert, California, in the United States. I know it's like a stay-at-home situation, but personally, my own feelings is that people should still get out and do stuff. Not crazy, not put yourself in risk or put other people at risk, but I think you should get out so that you don't get depressed, get some sunlight, get some fresh air, and just stay away from people best you can. Like, as you can see, look, I'm here, and it's like pretty wide open. But you know, you see people, but you just kind of stay your distance. Let's see, I'm still go out for exercise. Okay, that's good. And food, that's good. Yeah, going out for food and exercise, that's positive. Wait till this, oh, this guy has a bird on his finger. 2 birds. Okay, and then here's some more statues. Sorry, it's probably windy. So here's some desert animals. Rabbit, turtle, probably a coyote, and a ram, and then a lady. There's the basketball courts, some playground stuff, volleyball. And typically, people just come out here and hang out, and mostly like some of like, not the high schools, but I don't know if they call it like pee-wee football or whatever. They'll come out here and practice because there's like big wide open spaces. Like, see how much space that is? It's huge. Hello, how's it going? Okay, I'm gonna go down here to this aquatic center. Kind of, yeah, so anyway, I think get out if you can. If you're in an area that's not super populated, try to get out. I think there's a lot of people that are isolated and they feel sad, lonely, depressed, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I mean, sometimes when I'm traveling and I'm like in my car a lot and I feel alone, but I try to just stay on the phone with family and friends, and I read my Bible, I pray, so I feel okay about it. So, but being in isolation in your house can be hard. That's why I feel like I have to get out and get some sunlight. All right, we're almost there to the aquatic center. What's the weather like where you guys are? Is it getting warm or is it still cold? All right, let me see how close I can get to this because they have a fence. Here's some desert landscape if you want to see some trees, cactus, There's like a giant cactus, little cactus. Alright, well that sign says cameras in use, no trespassing. But look how big this aquatic center is. First of all, let me go over here. It's got that lap pool, this slide, and then more of a pool over there. Kels, what up? How you doing? I'm in Palm Desert, California, and I'm just showing everybody around the park. And it's a very big park, and I'm at the part where I'm at the aquatic center, so they have like swim meets here and different events. Good to see you too. I had to do the live stream late because I was giving blood, and they were really backed up today, like 2 hours behind. All right, let's see. Here's some more desert landscape. Some cactus. Don't want to get too close. So if you're not from the desert, you may or may not know that there's some cactuses are jumping cactuses. So if you get too close, you can get, like, the cactus could pop out onto you. Not the whole cactus, but like a piece of the cactus. And you don't want that, because that doesn't feel good. But it's very nice out here. Okay, so here's a different view of the aquatic center. I just finished the promo video and hopped on to see what I could find, and to my surprise, you were live. Yes! I can't wait to see your video. If you guys don't know Kels Acosta, check out his channel. Let me talk in the camera. Check out Kels Acosta YouTube channel, because he does travel stuff too, and his is very interesting because he interviews people, and it's a different perspective than any of us will ever have. So check out that channel as well. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go just down here a little bit, and then I'm gonna start walking back. But of course, let's see. All right, so there's more fields for sports. You could get like a super good workout out here too if you come out here. Tell us about your favorite video ever made. Let's see. My favorite video I ever made. That is a hard one. Man. Oh, okay, well, this isn't the current one, but it's really funny. My younger son, he has a YouTube channel, and a few years ago he pranked me on his channel. It was when he was still in high school, and he basically, like, he's like, oh, come sit on my bed, I gotta tell you something. And he had the camera like facing, I didn't see it obviously. And he's like, this was probably like, I don't know, 2 weeks to a month before graduation. And he's like, I'm not gonna be able to graduate because I didn't do what I needed to do. And I was pissed. And then I started crying. So anyways, that's on his channel. But then I waited like a year, and then I finally got him back on my channel. And I forgot what it's called, but it's like probably, I don't know, 2 years ago now. But it was fun to make because he was like, you're never gonna get me back, you're never gonna be able to fool me. And it took a long time to just wait it out, but I sure did. And he was shook. He was very upset. So it's a fun video that me and my older son made as a prank to my younger son. So that was fun. And then in terms of travel videos, let's see. They're all fun to make actually, but because you get to go back and see all the footage that you've taken over, like wherever I've been. Like I usually do footage from like one city, and it's kind of cool to see it all together, like the things that I've done while I was there. Gosh, there's so much stuff. One of the best ones was the one stealth parking in Key West, Florida, because everybody said it's not possible, you can't park in Key West, and I was determined to do it, and I did. And people were like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So that was a fun one to make because it required me to have a lot of faith to do it, and it worked out. So I really enjoyed that video, and I really enjoyed Florida more than I expected to, and particularly Jacksonville, Florida. It's not a place that you hear about often, but when I went there, it was so beautiful. The beaches had like white sand. Everybody was super nice, and I want to go back. And I made like new friends there too, and it was just really great. Okay, let me walk a different way because there's people coming. Watch, this is funny. Make a video about all the cool people you met along the way. I thought about it. Do you guys think that would be interesting? I always like wonder, do people care about other people? Or do you really like, do people mostly care about like the scenery or care about like seeing different things so that like if they ever go to that place, or do they really want to hear from other people? I don't know. I think it's like a mixed crowd. I think it really depends on how interesting the people are that you meet, because if they're just, you know, just talking about random, just basic stuff, so maybe not. It's not always about the destination. I think it's about sharing the experiences with others. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I have met some really cool people. Now, I'm usually like a natural introvert, and I'm just saying it to you on this live stream, but I don't say it anymore because, you know, when you speak something over yourself, then you tend to stay in that label. And so I really have worked hard to come out of myself while traveling and to like talk to people, because I don't tend to want to initiate conversation. And so I've been really working on it, especially on my last journey. And I ended up making some really great new friends off of just working hard to like push myself to do that. That was a goal I had on my last trip, and it was great. And whatever you put your mind, like whatever you put your mind on to focus on, you can make it happen. Let's see. Let me get in the shade so I can read this comment because there's glare on this phone. Okay. Dennis, very nice. Enjoy, continue. Greetings from Slovenia. Nice to have you. What's the weather like there, and what time is it? Yeah, so like for example, right now I've I've snacked way too much. Travel snacks has gotten the best of me. So now I'm like, all right, you need to calm down and stop eating so much crap. So now I've made the decision, and now I've decided to do something different, to eat more healthily, and I believe in moderation. So it's not that I'll never eat sweets or never eat chips, but it's like that can't be the majority of the things. I can't always eat fast food on the road. I have to come up with a better solution. So that's why I've been walking more. I started my workouts back. And to me, I just know I can do it because I've done it before. So just a matter of time. Have you guys been like working out? Like, as you can tell, I'm winded because clearly I'm not in shape. But everybody's got to start somewhere. Have you guys been working out during the quarantine, or just kind of like lazing around? Because it's super easy to do, to just be like, I'm just gonna watch like 25 new episodes on Netflix of whatever. Everyday calisthenics are pretty easy. Oh, awesome. Yeah, oh yeah, especially if they just do like body weight exercises. 1:20 in the morning, that's way past my bedtime. I try to get to bed at like 10 p.m. That's because another thing about like health, sleep is so important. It's so important for your body to like work properly. So I really try to be in the bed, lights off, no phone, after 10, and try to get my solid 8 hours because I'm an early riser, and it doesn't matter. I could go to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning and I'm still gonna get up at like 6:30 or 7. Oops, it's windy. As I'm walking, I'm taking detours whenever people come near me. Not that I'm scared for myself, because I don't think, like for me, I'm not worried about any of this coronavirus stuff. But I do want to respect other people. And everybody has a different level of, you know, fear. So, are you guys like morning people or night people? I'm definitely a morning person. Whew. It's hot out here. It might be more than 75 degrees. But it's nice when that wind comes up. Both morning and night, that's nice. That's real nice. Oh, look, here's something else that's cool, this little sculpture. And then I'll show you the lake one more time. Let's see. So all throughout this park, they've done a really good job, like putting together different sculptures. And okay, so you can't really see it, maybe you can, but just past all that, there's the skate park, which I guess is pretty popular. And then over beyond that area is the college, the junior college. And then there's the beautiful mountains, which you can usually go hiking, but not right now. I cannot skateboard. No, that would be a bad idea. I think I would step on like just one foot on a skateboard and probably just crack my head open. No, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I am not going to do that. But no, I'm not coordinated enough to get on things with wheels. That's just not. With some practice maybe, but no. It's not something I would be even interested in doing. Okay, so here's the man-made lake again with the ducks. And it's very peaceful. So if you just want to come out here and sit and just chill out, it's very nice. You could come and bring like lounge chairs and or lay down or whatever. If you could interview one famous person, who would it be? Oh my gosh, you're coming with the hard questions today. One famous person. Huh. That is a good question. I think it's also hard for me to answer that question because this is going to probably sound whatever, but like I consider all of us equal. So I know what you mean by famous, but to me we're all the same. Okay, so I can tell you one. My favorite artist is Drake. So, well, one of my favorites, not like every artist, but he's one of my favorite artists. And I'd like to interview him. I'd like to be friends with Drake. I think he'd be a cool person to be friends with. But then also, low-key, I think a lot of people are in the Illuminati. So I'd like to ask questions. Let's see. Many in Slovenia are infected with coronavirus. Movement is prohibited outside. Oh, really? Okay, so here in California, we are on stay-at-home orders. But you can go out to walk your dog, take a walk. Drizzy, yes. You can go out to take a walk, but you're supposed to stay away from people, and you have to have a mask, which I have my mask with me. But I'm not walking near people. If I was walking in the store, you have to have a mask in the store. Look at these turtles. What's up, Andre? Yeah. So I'd say Drake. He'd be like somebody I would find an interesting interview with, because there's a lot of things I want to ask, like in terms of, and I'm sure he's done plenty of interviews answering the same questions, but you know, like he was acting and then he went to music, and like, I don't know, like he's talented, but also like, how did he get so big? Because there's other talented people. Okay, those are Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of Ninja Turtles then, because look, here's like so many more. I can't get too close because then they start jumping in the water, because they don't want people to come near them. There's so many, and even over there. And there's some ducks over there. Yeah. There's a lot going on over here. Okay, let me ask that back to you guys. If there was one famous person you could interview, just one, don't be given a list, one person, you had like a golden ticket to have access to one person for like a 2-hour interview, who would you interview? And same thing, it can be deceased or currently living. What do you guys say? Oh, Michael Jackson, that's a good one. That's a good one. That'd be an interesting interview. If he, like, and here's the thing, like with interviews with famous people, I wish we can make like a fake rule that like you have to answer every question and you have a truth serum and you have to like answer exactly the true honestness. Tupac, also another good one. That would be a really good one, because there's a lot of things that we don't know that I feel like we need answers to. Look, I'm going on the stage, so I'm going to be famous right now. Could you imagine if I just started like getting up here and like singing and dancing? People would be like, what is happening? Pretend you guys are on stage right here. If you guys can rap or sing. Could you imagine like all the people out here just like cheering your name? Personally, I don't prefer that lifestyle. Like all my childhood, I wanted to be a singer. Moved to LA to become a singer. Made an album. And then I was over it. I did not want to pursue music as a career because people are shady and I didn't like it. Hello! Who's it? Can't say the name. Falcon Dreams. I am great. How are you? I'm just standing on a stage with a ghost audience in the middle of Palm Desert, California, in what feels like pre-summer weather. Here. Falcon Dreams. That name is cool, Falcon Dreams. Is there a hidden meaning behind that? That seems pretty cool. You're welcome. All right, so, do you guys have any last questions? Oh, real quick, like, I don't think anybody from last week's live stream is on this live stream, but last week I was in Yucca Valley, and there was this weird mystery thing up on the mountain. Wait, hold on, let me get away from these people. Yes, I searched a lot before making this channel name. Cool. How long do you think we will have to be in quarantine for? Oh, I don't know. Well, I think every state is different, so California, I would imagine is going to be at least another 2 weeks to a month. I love travel snacks in quarantine. So I think it might be a while, but I do want to start getting out back on my travels, so I hope it's not going to be too much longer. Anyways, on my last live stream, there was this weird, like giant, like if you can imagine like the biggest, most giant, like drive-in movie theater screen on top of this giant mountain. And we didn't know what it was, and I was like, should I go up there? But I didn't think I was gonna have cell service, so I didn't. Well, I tried to research it, and there's nothing about it. I think it's some kind of like hidden secret government thing, but then I talked to my dad, who's lived in the desert forever, and he was like, no. So what that is, okay, so in the town of Yucca Valley, there's a Verizon store, like not a Verizon store like we know now, but like, yeah, conspiracy, like when it used to be called GTE. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it was pre like cell phones. It was when we still had like long distance plans. So they have this big drum. It's like the big drums that you would see like on like a motion picture where they like light up the sky. So there's a big drum, and that big drum pings that screen, and that screen thing pings long distance calls down to Palm Springs, which is a different area here in the desert. So I guess that's what they used back then to like make long distance phone calls. So you can check out that live stream to see what it looks like, but I couldn't find anything on it. I think it's weird, and I still want to go up there, but I don't know how to get there. So I'm gonna still try to find out. Okay, let's see. I watched your channel. First time I'm gonna subscribe. Yes, thank you. You talking about good. I'm so winded. I feel like crazy. Yeah, throw a like on this live stream if you like it, and if you're not already subscribed, I mean, you know, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. All right, any last questions? Because I'm gonna start walking towards my car. This morning I got up early and I drove through Pioneer Town, and Pioneer Town is like this old westerny kind of town. It was kind of closed, but I made a drive around video, so I'm gonna post that tomorrow. When's your next live stream? Live streams every Saturday, Snack Chat Saturday. Usually it's at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, but today it was late because I went to go give blood and they were like 2 hours behind. Let's see. What do you do by profession? Right now I just do YouTube, and I don't have any income because I'm trying to monetize my YouTube channel. So if you want to help out, you can watch all my videos so I can increase my watch time. And I'm getting close to the requirements for YouTube to monetize. I'm a banker, internal auditor. Okay, cool. Is that something you enjoy? Thanks for mentioning me in the video. Have a nice day. No problem. You have a great day as well. Yeah, so with YouTube, some of you may or may not know. If you have a channel, you already know. But in order, these geese are going crazy. Let me see. Look at this black raven, or whatever. Those geese are pissed. Anyway, in order for a YouTube channel to monetize, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So we just hit the 1,000 subscribers a few weeks back, and now I'm trying to get my 4,000 watch hours. I'm right at about 3,000, so I have about 1,000 to go. And everybody's been like really helping and getting involved and just playing the videos over and over, and it's been really helping. So I'm really trying to shoot for that by the end of April. Let's see. You have to have a ton of watch hours. Yeah. Thank you so much for subscribing. Canadian geese. Oh, let's see. I don't know. Let's go over here. Okay, so I came here like years ago, and there was 2 geese that looks like this, and they were chasing me, and I didn't appreciate it at all. They can get really angry. They're like, do not mess with me. If this thing starts chasing me, you're gonna see me running real quick. He is just standing in one spot. Look at this little boat out there. How cute is that? Yeah, YouTube, I kind of feel like 4,000 hours is arbitrary, and it's a lot for a new person trying to get on to the YouTube monetization. Let's see. Ride for it. Yeah, really. I don't want to be mean to animals, but don't even get me started. If they come near me, I got to defend myself. I don't know. I feel like 4,000 watch hours is a lot. And you want to know the worst part about that? About a year ago, they had different requirements. The requirement was you had to have 10,000 lifetime views. And the week I hit that, they changed the requirements to these new requirements. And they do not give an F. They don't care. They're like, oh, well, let's change now. I was like, wow, that is wrong. So, yeah, they changed the requirement. It sucks. So I could have been monetized already, but I don't care. Like, whenever I get a challenge, I just work harder. And just keep it going. What can you do, you know? And I really want to build an audience, like a true audience. So I don't want to, you know, I don't want, like, I would never buy views or buy subscribers or whatever. Like, I really want to have a community of people. So I'm not too upset about it. Let's see. Yeah, Kels has a cool channel. Watch his channel. Believe that you can achieve this, Melissa. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, like, I'm really excited about building this channel even more and getting back out on the road. Look at this cool charging station for, I think, Teslas. Yes. Travel Snacks channel, we got this. And look how pretty the mountains are. Oh, I'm like all in the street. Alright. Alright, any last questions? I'm gonna get in my car. Oh, and there's a police officer. I don't know. They said they could ticket you if you don't wear a mask, but I don't think anybody's gonna do it. Like, I don't think any of the police are gonna actually do it. Snack chat Saturday, yes. So every Saturday I'll be here, and I come to you from a different location every week. I try to, especially like on quarantine, it's been harder, but I always try to find a new location to show so that it's really interesting. So you guys take care. I'm gonna drive back home and edit my drive around video so that you guys can see that tomorrow. And if you have time, open a tab on your computer and just let the Travel Snacks playlist play, and that will help my watch hours. So I hope you have a super blessed rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye! How do I turn this thing off? I do this every time. Oh yeah, I will be taking a shower and washing my hands and everything. So yes. All right, bye.